community college, in my estimation, is uniquely positioned to be a great problem solver here.
These folks have come from all over the state, and their presentations coupled with Jane's presentation and your great questions and thoughts, I think really set the stage for our week of engagement.
The students who come to the community college are by far the most diverse students who enter the doors of higher education.
I think it really does help if you have data-driven information to base your decisions on, and I think our Achieve the Dream program here is really set up well to do that.
We must support student success in every way we can possibly think of, and we must think about this together with our partners.
More than anything, I want to thank you for the work you're going to do after I leave and after this day is over and tomorrow is over and next week, where you really begin to take this into action and scalable, sustainable change that will make a difference for your students, because that's key.
We have been laser focused on access and enrollment. It has been the dominant conversation. It's how we structured our policies, our procedures, and our practices. We have been deeply committed to opening the doors of higher education to as many populations as we possibly can. And by the way, we've done an amazing job. The challenge is we have not done equally as good with a success agenda in terms of getting people across the stage with some kind of credential, some kind of degree. And why that's a problem today, and why the Bill and Melinda Gates in particular Foundation is really interested in this topic, is if you look at opportunity in this country today, talking about 2010, the pathway to possibility is different than it was 30 to 40 years ago. The pathway to possibility, especially out of poverty, we care deeply about low-income students in particular, and what our data shows, this is the hardest point. Intergenerational poverty has never been higher. The intergenerational transmission of poverty has never been higher than it is today. Meaning you've never been more likely to die poor if you were born poor than right now. Is that a problem? Yeah. Do you know what the single biggest disruptor of that cycle of poverty is today? Yeah, it's not just education, it's a post-secondary credential with some kind of labor market value. Certificate, diploma, degree, and the kind of work that you all do. The reason the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is deeply interested in doubling the numbers of low-income young adults that get these kind of credentials, it's a game changer. It completely changes the pathway of possibility for their lives. And especially that 16 to 26-year-old cohort, it not only changes it for them, it changes it for their kids, for their relatives, for their parents sometimes. It's this kind of multiplier effect. And why we're so focused on this conversation around completion is because we know you share this passion. You're about this idea of giving people a pathway to possibilities.
Every American will need to get more than a high school diploma. And dropping out of high school is no longer an option. It's not just quitting on yourself, it's quitting on your country. And this country needs and values the talents of every American.
Many people in community colleges will say to us, and legitimately, not all of our students come here to persist or to graduate. And that will be true. They will legitimately say to us that there are other important outcomes of community college education, and that will be true. Nonetheless, we need to turn our attention to talking with our students about the importance of graduation. And most importantly, we need to turn our attention to the increasing evidence about what really matters in promoting higher levels of student persistence, student learning, and student attainment of college-level certificates and degrees.
My 2020, America will once again have the highest proportion of college graduates in the world. That is a goal we can meet.
It helped me learn more about what I have to do to focus in the classroom, out of the classroom, and do what I need to do in the classroom. Starting the fall semester, I think I had a lot more confidence because I was going into college kind of iffy, like I'm not sure, is it going to be harder, stuff like that. And like going through the bridge program, it made me like have more confidence. I always like have struggles on tests, and like that really helped like my test scores, especially on like the comp test. It made me realize that I should go further on to a bachelor's or master's, maybe a doctorate, you know. Staff, teachers, students, I just like the whole idea about Harper.
We cannot continue to measure ourselves by how many students enroll at William Rainey Harper College, but rather how many students are successful at William Rainey Harper College.